Hello, everyone. Hope y'all are doing well. Had a great Christmas break, a great holiday break. I hope you're doing well rested and everything, ready for the spring semester. And if you all are watching this, you're taking our medical sociology course. So we are talking spring 2025. Very exciting. Talking medical sociology. Really excited that y'all are taking this course. Very excited to be with you on this journey about medical sociology. And all today is just an introduction to the course, to what we're going to be talking about, to the course format, and then what to kind of expect as we go through this asynchronous course throughout this spring semester. So, just right off the top, just as an introduction, my name is Sean Zimney. I'm going to be your instructor for Concordia College, and we're going to be talking about all sorts of things, medical sociology and sociology in general as well. And I'm really excited to do so because I am a sociologist. So I actually graduated from Concordia way back in the day. I went to grad school for applied sociology and did a lot of community research and in this field and adjacent fields. I've worked in the disability services field. I've worked in higher education, including now with a place called the Washington Center out in living in Washington, D.C. So that's why we're remote because I'm not in Moorhead, Minnesota. But I'll have hopefully some interesting speakers and anecdotes throughout the semester that can relate to this course and bring in some folks that I know and then hear from you all about what you know and folks you know as well. Maybe we can get into the course. So I want to run through the syllabus and then the Moodle page, and then that'll be it for today. And then I'll talk about how kind of other future recordings will go. So just right off the bat, we're talking medical sociology. And so you're probably like, what is medical sociology? You see the course description there, and you can read through that on your own. Right here, I'm referring to. You can read that through that on your own when you have the syllabus, when you access the syllabus and which you'll obviously have, including the goals and learning outcomes of this course. And there's 12 of them. We'll get into all of that. But really, just to right off the bat, we're talking about medical sociology. And what medical sociology is, it's a subfield of sociology. And we're examining how social factors, things like class, like gender, race, culture, these things, how these things influence health outcomes, influence illness, healthcare utilization, and even the social constructed nature of health issues, of how we define what is a medical issue, what is an illness, what is not, the medicalization of things, about what does it mean to be sick, as that being a status in society. So all those things and more we're going to be talking about. It's going to be really interesting conversations, really interesting topics. We're studying the relationship between all these social conditions, health outcomes, and how the social environment that you live in, right? Think about not necessarily just inside of our head, right? Just the individual interactions we have, but think broader socially of all these sort of broad structures, how these impact health outcomes and how these impact maybe things like the American healthcare system. We're going to focus on the social determinants of health, analysis of different health behaviors, an examination of healthcare systems themselves, and then, like I mentioned, the social construction of illness. So we're going to look at all of those things, and it's going to be really exciting to do so. So that's what is the course, what we're going to be looking at. Obviously, we'll get into the nitty and gritty throughout the semester, which would be terrific. This is an asynchronous format. You can see up here that our classroom office, everything that's virtual, office hours are upon request. But make sure you look at that class time, that it is asynchronous. What that means is that we don't have formal allotted class meeting times. Instead, you will have recordings like this, lecture recordings that you will need to watch. So on our first topics, or let's say on week 2 or 3, whatever it is that we're covering, the social determinants of health, there will be a lecture. Maybe it's 20 minutes, maybe it's 40 minutes of me talking about these issues. I'll be giving an overview of all those and covering the readings and all those sorts of things. And that will give you an opportunity to view, take notes, like a traditional lecture, and then email me questions or respond to questions on the Moodle page, all those sorts of opportunities. So there will be lecture recordings like this I will post to the Moodle page. So you will have access to those. Just they'll be on the Moodle page and continuing to add them to the Moodle page under their specific dates. we'll also have other videos. So whether it's documentary viewings or other videos that I post on the Moodle page that you'll be required to watch, that's a part of it as well. Similar to a reading assignment, but instead you're viewing these videos. Obviously, there are reading assignments as well, like a typical course. And we'll go through what you can see them all here. Those reading assignments are going to be in here. And then the course schedule as well. So we'll get into where you can see the course schedule in the syllabus, in the Moodle page. Oh, and then discussion prompts, and I'll talk about that too, where part of the interaction between you and I, as well as the interaction between you all, each other, will be discussion prompts every week, mostly every week. Well, you'll write a response, 1 to 2 paragraphs on a prompt that I give you. And then I'll read all those as well, but then you'll also reply to each other. So that'll be part of the classroom interaction that we do. So just to make you prepared for that. And let's talk about that course schedule too. So going through the syllabus here. So I mentioned the course description that you can read. You can see all the big questions that we're going to be asking, the goals and learning outcomes. Requiring reading, you see Steve Barkin, Health, Illness, and Society, an Introduction to Medical Sociology. So make sure you have that book. That's our assigned textbook for the course. Access to me is using this Zoom link. If you ever need to, let's say we schedule a meeting, we can use this Zoom link. If we ever have, we're not going to have a live session, but if you and I, maybe individually or small groups, have a live session, we'll use this Zoom link as our meeting, our classroom meeting. You can read through the classroom expectations, the typical Concordia College academic integrity, like work policy. You can see course grade outcomes there, what designates an A, A minus, B, all those sorts of things. Pretty standard. And then the assignments here. I want to get to the assignments. I'll get to them in a second, and we'll go through them because I first want to show you the course schedule, which you can find down below the assignment. So course schedule and readings you can find on page 11 of the syllabus. So you can see they're divided by weeks. And even though that this is an async course, I have divided the syllabus like a typical Tuesday, Thursday course, just so it helps us all be organized more. So our lecture recordings will be on these individual topics, and I'll assign them these dates. Now they're assigned those dates for the week. So let's say if both recordings for the 14th and 16th are up on the 13th, you can surely watch both of those on the 13th. That's up to you. Or you can divide it Tuesday, Thursday, and allot that time yourself. However you want to organize your time to view those recordings, that is up to you. But this is how I'm dividing it, just so it makes sense. So it's not all just a big conglomerate of information through the course, but just make sure on the syllabus that it's divided with ease for both you and I. So on the course schedule, what you'll see are the big topics for that week. Like on week 1 is today, which is just our course introduction. But week 2 will be our introduction to medical sociology, research methods in medical sociology, introduction to population health. We're also going to do just a general introduction to sociology itself and some key topics as a refresher for folks that have taken social courses, but also as an intro for folks that maybe have not taken those courses or took them a long time ago. And then what you'll see is, again, some individual topics for each day. So whether that's Tuesday or the Thursday, and then the assigned readings that you have. So if it's the textbook, Barkin, it'll have Barkin and then whatever chapter, and then in some occasions, whatever specific pages to read there. And then you'll also have, if they're online readings, which there are many cases where that is the case, it'll have the link here. So you can just click on the link or copy and paste the link, and it'll take you to that reading. The readings are also linked on the Moodle page, which I'll show you at the end. So you'll be able to find all readings there, including videos. So like down here, you see week 4 under social epidemiology. There are videos to watch, and you have the links right there on where to watch them. Also, again, linked to the Moodle page. You see that week 3 will begin our weekly Moodle prompt reflections, and I'll show what those look like on the Moodle page itself. But that's when we actually begin that sort of interactive component. Also on the course schedule is when assignments are due. So they'll be highlighted in green at the end of each week. So for instance, here, end of week 4, your assignment, your article response is due by Sunday, 1/26, 11:59 p.m. So you'll see, and I'll remind you too in the lectures and whatnot when assignments are due upcoming. And of course, if you ever have an issue with getting an assignment completed, always happy to give extensions and be flexible where needed to. So just make sure to keep up that communication because that's helpful for both of us, right? That when we have that communication, that's just going to benefit both of us. We can get, or all of us, and we can create some flexibility when needed. You also see, of course, your student respite days, all those sorts of things. Ignore these highlights right there. This actually changed when you see this. But ignore those highlights. Again, assignments, pretty standard stuff. And then the final presentations. I don't know our final exam period date yet. And I'll talk more when we get close to that time of what that actually looks like as an async course and whatnot. So, and then we'll have final presentations the last week or so. So that's what the course schedule looks like. Feel free to review on your own time as well. But now I also, of course, want to talk about those course assignments. So you see again, you'll be told when those course assignments are coming up, and we don't have too many for this course. We have 5 total grade areas for the class. You can see right here is where I'm talking about. I'll highlight it just for the time being. So summary of grading components. So 1, we have an article response worth 50 points. We have a documentary review worth 50 points. We have 2 papers. Each are worth 100 points, so 200 points total. And then we have a final presentation, also worth 100 points, which you will actually record and post to the Moodle page. And then participation. That includes, you can actually ignore the group presentation piece there because it's going to be solo presentations, but that includes your discussion prompts. So participation is the 50 points. And what I mean by participation is not just your on the Moodle page and responding to everybody on the Moodle page, but prompt communication. If any delays come up or any issues or you need extensions, make sure you're communicating that with me. And that sort of prompt and open communication is really important there. All right, so those are the summary of assignments. You can find the actual detailed descriptions of each assignment on the syllabus. So starting on page, let's see, this is page 3. You can see all the assignments. So we have an article response assignment, and I'll go into each of these 2 in more detail when they start coming up in the semester in the lecture recordings. When I remind you when they're due, we'll go into details on them as well. But you see an article response, pretty straightforward, finding a journal article and responding to a journal article you find. A documentary review, there are some documentaries available here that you can view and respond to. I've linked 3 documentaries there, so you can choose from either of those 3 and then write your documentary response and review to that. 2 papers. You see, I try to make it as helpful as possible by listing very detailed structure here to the paper. So paper number 1 is an analysis of health inequities through the social determinants of health. And obviously we'll cover the social determinants of health before you write this up. And you can see actually even my evaluation criteria for that as well. And then the second paper is an ethical analysis of a contemporary healthcare issue. So we're going to look at actually a healthcare issue currently facing whether it's the world or a specific country or the United States or a specific community. That's going to be up to you. But you're actually going to dive into an ethical analysis of that. And again, same way, you have the key structure there. You also have instructions and evaluation criteria. And then you also are going to have your final presentation. So this is one where you're going to actually record, whether you can record it on your phone, on video record, on open up a Zoom meeting and record there, however it makes most sense, and you'll send to me. We'll upload them, and you'll all be able to watch and respond to everyone's recording. So your final presentation is exploring a medical sociology topic, an in-depth analysis of healthcare systems, disparities, or social determinants of health. So you can see here what you're going to need for your final presentation. It'll be the last thing we actually do in this course. Again, you see the structure that I'm giving you. We can waver a little bit, right? I'm saying 10 to 15 minutes. If you're a little over, a little under, that's totally okay. I just want to give a fairly detailed structure that is most helpful for you all as you're thinking about what to pick and how to do it. I actually even put in some example topics, even just think about. So you could actually take from one of these topics if you wanted, but I just wanted to list these 7 example topics as a way of, because these are ones I've seen in the past as well, just ways of getting your mind thinking about what those topics could be. So nothing to think about at the moment, but especially as we get going in the course, be helpful to refer back to. Okay, and then of course class participation. I mentioned that includes those article responses, the discussion prompts, and your responses and interaction with other class members. Okay, if there are any questions that any of you have on any of this that we've covered today, the syllabus, the course, the assignments, you can obviously email me and chat me. That'll be how we interact throughout the course, and then we can even meet one-on-one as well. Okay, the last thing I want to go over, I want to stop sharing that. I want to share the Moodle page. That's not the right page. Excuse me, 1 second. I want to make sure I get the right Moodle page for you. There we go. There's the Moodle page. Okay, so you can find the Moodle page here, including the course description, the required readings, all this sort of stuff we just covered. You'll find the syllabus on here as well. And then you'll find the course outline. So you'll find week 1, week 2, 3, 4, all the way through the final week of the course. And you'll see all the linked readings. So you'll have all the readings that you need, all the links that you need for those readings or the videos to watch will all be here. And even our first recordings will also be here. So this course introduction recording that I'm recording right now, this video will be under this January 9th section. So you'll be able to see that there, and you'll be able to watch it right through there. I'll upload it as a YouTube link, so you can even go directly to YouTube and watch it as well if you so choose. So every week, the recordings will be under there. And then here are what these prompts, these discussion prompts look like. So this is what, if you clicked into, like, say, week 2, for instance, we're actually starting them week 3, but I wanted to give you an example one to try if you'd like. So week 2, it'll show every number of weeks, feedback prompts plus forum. And what you'll do is you'll choose one of these prompts to respond to. You don't have to respond to both, but choose one of them. So each week, students will write weekly responses to prompts online on our Moodle course page. These reflections will be 1 to 2 paragraphs. These prompt reflections are a part of your participation grade. So, prompt 1, the scope and importance of medical sociology, or prompt 2, population health and social determinants. So you could go all through these, pick whatever one you'd like, and write that response that week towards it. So what you'll do is you'll add a discussion topic. You'll choose the topic that you're responding to. So let's say prompt 2, population health and social determinants. If you choose whatever prompt you would, and then you write up your response. So example, and let's say there are 1 to 2 paragraphs of that, and then you post to the forum. So all you gotta do, you can post right there to the forum itself. So that's what that will look like. And then if you can scroll all the way down, you can even see what these videos will look like. So you can see some of the recordings, they pop up like that. Others, you have to click on the direct link. But this is what my recordings will look like in there as well. So if you go all the way down throughout the course, you can see at the bottom, similar to the syllabus, all of the assignment descriptions are in here. So your documentary review, your article response, and here the submitting assignments. I'll talk about that in a second too. So paper 1, paper 2, final presentation, all these sorts of things. All the assignment descriptions in detail are on the Moodle page at the very bottom. And up here, you'll see directions for submitting the assignments. I'll actually have to, I'll change that. This is for Social 111. That should be Social 380, of course. So I'll change that in a second here. ASA or APA style citation is totally fine by me. Won't be too much of a stickler for that. But as long as you cite correctly and consistently and accurately, that's what really matters here. So you can either submit here, or what would be preferable, I only include that option in case there's some tech issues. You see there are actual assignment upload areas for each date that you need to submit assignment. So let's say you're submitting paper number 2. This is what this will look like. You just you upload it exactly to. So you should make a submission and you upload it to this assignment section. So preferably upload to Moodle. If you have issues with it, you can email me that assignment as well. Okay, so that's essentially everything. So we'll get the hang of it and you'll get the hang of it. I know it's an async course, so tech's going to be critical, but you see all my contact information on here as well. And then again, this will be posted to the Moodle page, but please let me know of any questions that all of you have as we go through all of this and especially as we begin the course. I want to make sure everything's clear enough for everybody. We'll get to know each other more throughout the course. It'll be a really fun time. So I hope you get a lot out of medical sociology. And I'm looking forward to learning kind of what everyone's studying coming into this course and then what we're really looking to get out of a medical sociology perspective. Other than that, again, please don't hesitate to reach out with questions that you have or reflections, whatever it might be. I want to keep this dialogue continuing and very open. So I will get this uploaded to the Moodle page, and that's where you'll watch it. Other than that, we will look forward to week 2 on some really interesting topics and some introduction items to medical sociology. Thanks, everybody.